Great, so we've seen how to create a selection list, but one can imagine that this can be a tedious, repetitive work. So for example, if now we want to create a selection list for products, so when the user is in the order details and we'd like to select the product ID, well, we'll need to create another selection list, and we don't really want that. So we created a code sample of a reusable selection list that exists in ENV, which you can then take and expand and learn about your ability to write dynamically generated code. So let's just go ahead and use it. We're going to go to this screen, show order details. And I know we can use it in the product ID type, but I'm going to do it in the screen just for the sake of simplicity. So we have here show order details. And we're going to go to product ID. We're going to go to the expand event and double click on it. And the way to use it is very simple. First, we need to define the entity we want to use. So we want to use the product entity. So we're going to say new models products. And then we're going to say env utilities selection list show. And it wants to get the data column, which is the controllers, order detail, product ID. This is the column where the value needs to return to, the actual value we want to select. We want to select it from the table products that we've just defined. The value column is the product ID. And the description column, which I can put as many as I want, is the product name. And maybe we want some other description column. Let's see if there's anything interesting here. Let's just put discontinued for the sake of visibility. So we've defined the tables that we want to use. We call the show method, sent it the column we want to select, product ID from order details, gave it the products table, the product ID that will update to the column, name, and another column to show. Let's see what happens now. We're going to run our code, go to the order details, and when we are parked in products, we know that we can zoom because we have this indication. We'll click on it, and we have a nice little select product string that opens up, where I can do anything I want to do with it. It also shows me the product name, discontinued or not, and a green select button. So this is how I create a selection list very easily, just 2 lines of code, and I create any selection list that I want. I encourage you, once the training is over and you get a bit of experience, to go and explore the code, because the entire code for the dynamic selection list is about 100 lines of code. And there's a great deal of interesting things to learn here about how to create dynamically generated controllers or screens that gets created on the fly.